Hello, I'm Morgan O'Brien. Thanks for joining us today. I'm here from IBM Rational Services, part of the software group, and I'm here with some colleagues. Let me take a minute and introduce them. I've got Daryl Rader. Daryl, you want to say hello?
Hi, everyone. Glad to be here.
Great, thanks, Daryl. And we also have Bruce Besh here with us today. Bruce, you want to say hi?
Hi.
All right, great. Thanks for joining us. So we're going to hear about one of our client stories here, what we're doing with them. And I thought, Bruce, maybe you can start off by taking a few minutes and just describing the client for us.
Okay. I've been working with a food distributor, and they have challenges with their implementation of a major application, which has a large amount of components, a lot of extensions, and multiple releases from multiple distribution centers. And their real challenge is it's very difficult to keep their application concurrent across all of the different distribution centers, for which they have 10 major distribution centers, and be able to provide changes both by the manufacturer of the application and from the development team that's providing extensions to the app.
Well, I can see that that might be quite a challenge with having many different centers to work with, and additionally input from a variety of different users, the development team, and things like that. So you can understand why that might be a challenge for the customer.
Well, the big challenge is they receive 10 software delivery notifications for each one of their applications each month, and these are very complex procedures to be able to, for the customer to be able to implement. They have many different types of changes within these delivery notifications: database changes, application changes, configuration changes, and network changes. And they discovered that UrbanCode Deploy, with its component capabilities, was a near perfect match for them to be able to manage the concurrencies of these applications, getting all these fixes deployed out to all of their different warehouses, and being able to see an inventory of what warehouse had what fixes on them. Because the challenge is, in the real world, when you're talking about large applications, each different location or each different line of business or area that you're deploying applications to has different needs. In the case of supply chain, they have different applications. They have different equipment on the floor. They have different accounting procedures based on the types of goods that they receive and how they're distributed them, and the types of customers that they have. So they need to keep a very close inventory of what applications are out there, and they need a way of automating how to get these fixes out there quickly so that they can stay real time with their customers.
So Bruce, one of the words you mentioned is automate, and so I mean, I'm assuming they had a lot of processes in place that, you know, maybe some of them were manual, but some of them were automated. But were they just using different tool sets, or was it truly a, you know, hey, we've got to automate everything here?
They have a challenge in all the development for their application has to be integrate with their application suite. So they have, and being this a vendor application, they had to make sure that they deploy using the vendor standards. And some of these deployment scripts have 1,000 different line items on them, and they deploy database changes and other types of changes as well as application binaries. So their challenge was they had to have a way of managing how these scripts were arranged or were built in or read into the system, and then broken into different component pieces. So and then set to a specific process so that they could utilize network capabilities to do a blue-green or a odd and even type of an implementation, so that some of their systems or warehouses would be offline while they're doing updates, and some of them weren't. And using the UDeploy tool with its WYSIWYG or visual editing capabilities, they were able to create a visual process for their application deployment, and that process gave them a ability to understand and analyze how they were going to manage the deployments out to their different warehouse and customer, or I should say, distribution locations.
Okay, it sounds like Deploy was really a good solution to meet their needs, so prioritizing the different requirements from the different stakeholders and things like that. So it sounds like a very good solution that really just fit perfect for that client.
Absolutely. They were seeing a 50% improvement in their current processes and a significant improvement in being able to receive scripts and have them ready for deployment. Previous to using UDeploy, they were taking well over a week or more to be able to process these scripts and be able to put them in machine-readable format, and now they have an automated utility that's part of the UDeploy process that does it in seconds. So that was one area. This gives them the ability to deploy, or I should say upgrade, existing applications from one platform to another. They're a cloud-based environment, and so utilizing UDeploy, they can, and the cloud technologies, they can move from in a number of warehouses, a Windows environment, to a Linux type of environment, and the cloud capabilities gives them that ability to move very quickly from one environment to the other.
Right. So they can be a lot more nimble and agile, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So before, and I know we're close to getting to the end of the time, but just can you give an idea on how long it took? How long this journey took? I mean, are we talking 3 years? Are we talking a couple of weeks? Or give an idea on what it took to take them from doing it all manual with the automated deploy now.
They started utilizing UDeploy earlier this year, and we had a focus session of just over a week where we did some training, and we looked at how we could build out the system, and within 2 weeks' time, they were going and utilizing the system in an automated fashion. And very shortly after that, less than a month, they were fully automating, seeing the high benefits of 50% reduction in time and well over 90% in creation time, and much quicker application delivery of the applications that they were developing for the extensions to their large application. Excuse me.
Wow, so it sounds like it really didn't take very much time or investment to get there. You know, it sounds like it took just a couple of weeks to move from the manual process to an automated process, and it was very successful for them. Quite a story.
And these were supply chain people. These weren't application development people. These were not programmers. These were not IT people. The majority of people that implemented this system were people working in the customer disciplines and not the information technology disciplines.
All right, well, that's quite a great story, and I really appreciate your spending the time with us today, Bruce. And Daryl, thank you for joining as well. I think we'll wrap, given the time constraints, and we'll call it a go. So thanks very much.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye now.